The autumn is changing into winter. The air is getting colder and nature is getting whiter and more crispy. With time, I've learned to appreciate the beauty of every season, and every season in our lives as well. Because even in our life, we go through different kinds of seasons. It can be seasons of joy, rest, suffering, or maybe sorrow. But whatever season you might be in right now, remember that God has everything under control. There is a time for everything, which we also can read about in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 to 8. And there it says this: "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sue. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, and a time of peace." For me, winter is a time of rest, a time of reflection, and of course, a time of enjoying the northern lights. So it's the inner middle of the night, and I'm in a car on my way to meet up a friend, a couple of 15-20 minutes away from here, and we're going to try to catch the northern lights. Usually I do it all winters, but this autumn I have had a specific wish to photograph the northern lights while the lakes are open, or at least not snowy. So maybe I can get some northern light reflections in the lake. So we'll see if I can catch up with the northern lights and it will keep during the night, and hopefully I'll get some good pictures. So that's what I'm doing tonight, but I guess we'll have a nice time, me and my friend. So I just arrived to the lake and it's so beautiful. I have to go outside now. So it's 1 o'clock in the night and I just came inside I'm in the car, from being outside shooting some northern lights. It was such a magical night. Yeah. I had a friend with me. We stood under the stars looking in the northern lights, talking, drinking tea, photographing. Yeah, such a lovely night. So despite my lack of sleep this night and very cold fingers and toes, it was so worth it. I really love this season and I really hope to get more of these nights further on this winter. Okay, so I wanted to give my view on the northern lights. I grew up having the northern lights outside our house and our yard, and it has always amazed me very much, the northern lights. It's not only beautiful, it's just amazing. But one thing that I have been thinking about lately is that since I became Christian, the Northern Lights has come to mean so much more to me than when I grew up not having a faith. So now, when I go outside looking on the Northern Lights, it's a different kind of amazement when I see it, when I experiencing it, when I see it's moving, all the nice colors. I look up at the sky, I see stars and this beautiful phenomena that God has created. I feel so small, but in the same way also so blessed and so valuable. It gives me a perspective on the greatness of God. That when I look up on the sky and see this amazing light wandering all over the sky, it hits me that my God has created this. And He is bigger than this. He is more amazing than this. He is mightier than this and more beautiful than this Northern Lights, because this He has created. It's His fingerprint in the sky, and it's just so amazing to every time in the winter go outside in the darkness to see this light. It's a little bit of a reminder that even when it's totally dark, you have some stars and you can also have this amazing northern light. So even in the darkest darkness, there is light.
So it's almost 3 o'clock in the night, and I just came home from photographing northern lights again. Oh, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It was so beautiful. And I never shot northern lights before with water or ice reflection. So a real dream coming true tonight. So I can't wait to look at how everything became. But now I'm freezing and I really have to go to sleep. So yeah, I will do that now. And I will show you some photos.
As much as I have come to appreciate every season in nature, I have come to appreciate every season in my life as well. Because I know that every season has a purpose, and every season has its own beauty. And you need to keep focused on God and be thankful and praise Him for that He has a plan for your life and He has a purpose for your life. And remember, true joy is not something that comes from our circumstances. That is something that comes from